So apparently, and according to a tweet I saw, and you probably saw it as well, there's been an update to the Oculus Developer Hub that has the ability to give you higher quality recordings from your Quest 2, including some interesting features like the ability to record 4K natively, stereoscopic options, and more. Is this something to get excited about? Hello, I'm Adam Bombati. I create tutorials on how to record and live stream VR. Let's get started in testing this thing out, shall we? I do want to let you know first and foremost that the Oculus Developer Hub does require you to have a PC. I'm sure this is technically not meant for influencer use, although you can, I guess, use it for those purposes, but more on that in a moment. As a side note, I am not a developer, so muck around with other settings at your own risk. This should go without saying, but you also need to make sure that developer mode is enabled for your account. If you've ever used SideQuest before, you should be good to go, but if not, let me direct you to this video here in which I go step by step and walk you through it. But before you do that, I highly recommend you watch the rest of this video before potentially jumping through some hoops. To get started, I downloaded the Oculus Developer Hub itself, which you can find with a simple Google search, but I'll include a link in the description below for those curious. Extract the file, install the Developer Hub, and log in with the same Facebook account tied to your Quest. Once logged in, you should see this little pop-up in your browser. Make sure you click Allow Oculus to open ODH links, and then open the link. Accept some terms of service, sell your soul. I don't know if this will happen in all instances since Touch Portal is something specific to me, but if you get an ADP path dialog, you can just match the above path to what it wants below, or click Restore Default Path. Under Device Manager, click Set Up New Device, read the prompts to make sure you're good to go, then plug your Quest into your PC. You'll need to keep it plugged in for any of the changes to take effect. You may get the in-headset prompt asking for allowance for your computer to access your Quest. Click Allow. Now you should have access to this dashboard here. All the settings you'll want to change are under Record Video. As you can see, you have different options when it comes to single eye. Both eyes is a little more limited. With the single eye settings, once set, you can just use the in-headset recorder as normal, and actually, if you get that gameplay will be affected warning, it won't record on desktop at all. But for both eye capture, you will want to use the recording button in the Developer Hub for this. Interestingly, for 16:9 recordings, your in-headset view gets cropped. This in-game screenshot doesn't do it justice, so it looks a bit more like this. Not a huge deal, but something to make note of. Now for my tests. Note that for all of these, I set the bitrate to 40, which was the max. And I'll show you the 60 FPS footage, although 36 is also available. First, the ever peaceful Real VR fishing. The difference in frame rate and quality of the default sample and 4K version is stunning. It's buttery smooth and looks great. In headset, there are some stutters that are more noticeable when recording in 4K, but it's fishing, so it's pretty negligible. Now let's try something a little bit more fast-paced, like Supernatural. Oh boy. I didn't include the audio in these because it was Bad Romance by Lady Gaga, and I like keeping my own money, but take my word for it in that switching to 16:9 with this method was god-awful. I mean, in the recordings, just look at it. It looks great. But the audio was so out of sync with everything. The whole map gets played on a much slower speed. I could not recommend this for any rhythm game recordings, and I imagine shooters would suffer from this as well. To be fair, the hub does warn you that, hey, this will probably be pretty awful, and that's probably why I won't record from the hub, only in headset. So as you can see, unless you're going to be filming something relatively slow-paced, these options will pretty much make the game unplayable for you. It's a little concerning and frustrating when you really get to see how limiting the Quest hardware is for things like recording, and makes me wonder if having options like this natively in headset would even be possible, despite promises that we've seen in the past. I guess time will tell. It's hard to say where YouTubers and streamers really fit when it comes to Meta's roadmap, whatever that may be. Anyway, this has been your bummer news for today, but as always, keep on creating and never lose that drive to improve. I'll see you on the next one.